Hey there, mamas. This is Lee with Creative Two-Time Mom, and if you haven't figured it out from our prior foster care update, we have finalized our adoption. Yay! On November 17th, Josiah officially became a part of our family. So we finalized, today is the, oh my goodness, it's the 24th. So it was a week ago today that we finalized, and it has taken me, I tried to do this video about 3 days ago, and I felt like I was still really processing the mental switch that occurs when you finally finalize. So I'm going back to try to redo this and catch you guys up. On the 17th, it was a Monday, and so my in-laws came into town the weekend before, and my mom came into town the weekend before, and we just kind of spent the weekend together. I had a cousin that was here visiting, and we just hung out. We went to church, got Josiah a new outfit for his adoption day. We went out to lunch a couple times. We had the in-laws and my mom over and fed him every night and did the whole thing, and basically just had like a family weekend. I think we went to the park. I don't remember everything that went on that weekend, but because it was kind of like, I don't know, it was very weird to think that we were finally at that point. We've had Josiah for, it'll be 3 years and a month that he's been with us. So I feel like we've had, I'm sure it's not the longest running adoption ever, but from the people that I have talked to, it's been the longest adoption of anybody that I have spoken to. And so it was a kind of a weird feeling to be like, we're at the end, like really, because when things didn't really progress very well the first year that we had him, I just kind of went into like, I don't even know what you'd call it. I went into this mode of like not really allowing myself to think about adoption day. So now within the last month or so, it's become more of a reality, and it's hard to turn off 3 years of history and all of a sudden realize that journey has come to an end, which is a great thing, but it's just hard to make that mental switch. So it was a weird weekend for me personally anyway. And then Monday morning came, and I kept telling myself, like, you have to remember this day, because I knew it was going to go so fast. This whole last year of different things that have happened in our family and raising kids has just completely flown by. And I really wanted to, in my mind, make a memory. I really wanted to solidify what that day was going to be, so that when he comes back years later and has questions, it would still be fresh. Does that make sense? So I kept telling myself all day, like, soak it in. Like, this is the day. This is the day that you've been hoping for. I would say working toward for the past 2 years. The first year, of course, we hoped to adopt him, but we also hoped for restoration in the family. And when that was not really appearing to be evident the first year, the last 2 years, we've really been working toward this adoption pretty much more full force. So I was telling myself, like, this is the day you've worked for. This is the day you've been waiting to enjoy. This is the day you have been hoping for a very, very long time. And so we just kind of went through that day, and I kept thinking, I'm stressed out. And there was absolutely no reason for me to be stressed out. We were having a big family dinner that night, so I guess a little bit I was like cooking, and we had more family coming into town that day. Both my sister-in-laws and my one sister-in-law's family and the other sister-in-law's boyfriend, and they were all coming into town that day. And so I was cooking for like a big family dinner, but there was for some reason I was just stressed out, and I think it was all the emotions like hitting me, like, this is a really big day. So then about 1:30, because our adoption was in the afternoon, about 1:30 it was like, okay, it is time to actually get ready. And I think that was part of it too, is that all day I was just waiting, to get to that point of like, let's finally get ready and let's get this done. So we got the kids ready and dressed and hair done, and family, like the last of the family finally arrived, and none of them are from here, so they were all following us down to the courthouse, and we kept telling Josiah we were going to go see the judge, and he was going to sign something that said that Josiah was going to be a part of our family forever and ever. And so as we get out of the cars and we're walking up to the courthouse, like, we haven't even gone through inside yet, and he's like, well, where's the judge? Like, he expected him to be like sitting there to greet us at the door or something. I don't know. It was cute. So we go upstairs, and I asked the security guard at the front, because we had to go through metal detectors and the whole thing. I'm like, where do we go? I was told that I could just ask you and you would know. And he goes, well, you go up to the second floor and you'll enter into a waiting room, and you just wait there until you're called. Well, the doors open up and it's just packed. And it was kind of cool because November is National Adoption Month, and so we got to finalize in November. And there was probably about 8 or 9 other families there, and they're all there with the grandmas and the aunts and the uncles and the kids, and so it's just like this big room full of people. There was no other family court going on that day except for finalizations, and so it was kind of like a big party up there. It was a lot of fun. And one of the first people I contact with is when the elevator opened was a lady from our old church, and we had a bunch of people from our old church come and wanted to be a part of it because they really have gone through a lot of this journey with us. And an old adoption worker showed up, and we had family there, of course, and our current adoption worker was there, and so they were going alphabetically, so we thought we would get in quickly, but I think we were one of the last families, which was kind of funny. It was the middle of nap time, so of course my little guy, the whole time I'm thinking, oh, he's gonna fall asleep and then he's gonna be a crab. And yes, he fell asleep. And then it was probably about 4:15, just as they were calling our name, he woke up, and I was thinking, please let him be in a good mood. And he woke up in a great mood. He was so excited, and we got to go in and sit. We knew that my husband and I were going to sit at the table where you face the judge, and there was extra seats there, and so she invited our other 2 kids to come sit with us, which was really cool. And she had us sign the paperwork in front of her, and he got to sign, like, he knows a lot of the letters in his name, and he knows he starts with a J, so he wrote his J on the paperwork, which he thought was super cool. Got to do it with a pen, which was always fun for a 3-year-old. And and it was quick. I mean, they tell you it's going to be so fast. She asked us like 3 or 4 questions, and she's like, I agree. It's in his best interest to be adopted by your family. And I'm going to sign this paperwork, and you're done. And it was like, seriously? After all this work, we're done? Like, no way. And so it was really cool. I feel like we're still processing a lot of this stuff. I was even thinking today, like, there's a weight that you don't realize that you're carrying until you make it through each little step. And I thought I was done. I thought I had kind of unloaded everything prior to this finalization. Even knowing that there was a date, you let go of even more. But I was just thinking today, like, how awesome it is. Like, it's really final. I was looking at him sleeping in his bed a couple nights ago and being like, this is it. Like, you really are officially ours. So that's cool. We finalized November 17th, 2014. It's the end of a very, very long journey. One that, of course, we would do again because we have this awesome kid who is so much part of our lives and so much part of our family. It's hard to divorce the emotion from that. So people say, would you do it again? Yeah, I'd go through it again. I'd totally go through it again because he was absolutely meant to be where he is right now. So that's it. I don't know. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and we'll talk to you later, mamas.